The Immersive Digital Experiences Alliance is a non-profit industry association developing a family of royalty-free technical specifications to enable the digital future. Our members bring world-class experience in light field and holographic imaging, distribution networks, and content creation. You can learn more at immersivealliance.org. The IDEA Specialized Contract Track consists of 8 segments covering all aspects of immersive media. In this segment, we'll explore the possibilities in the near future of immersive entertainment. Imagine sports stars in your living room, your favorite characters talking with you, and games that use the entire house.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Debbie Fitzgerald, Director of Technology Policy and Immersive Media Experiences at CableLabs, and I'm here today with Eric Klassen, Executive Producer of CableLabs. If you're not familiar with CableLabs, we're a nonprofit research and development consortium of cable operators around the world. We develop innovative technologies to deliver high-speed broadband and digital media to hundreds of millions of people every day. In fact, over 500 million people use at least one CableLabs technology every day. Hi, Eric. How are you doing today?
Hi, Debbie. I'm great. Thanks for the introduction. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the pandemic has done in terms of media interests for consumers. So the pandemic has forced people to spend more and more time in front of their screens, and they're getting tired of looking at the same old thing for everything from school to work to family time. The need to have more meaningful, connected, and yet remote experiences has accelerated. So how might immersive technologies improve our ability to live, work, learn, and play? As an executive producer at CableLabs, I am given the task to imagine and create a vision for what these experiences might be in the future. Now, what's interesting is how immersive experiences will show up in so many ways in how we live, work, learn, and play. Now, we've put together a reel. So here's a taste for some of these next generation experiences that will be possible. So here we have a young girl who's showing her grandmother something, and we think they're in this field somewhere. But actually what we learn is that this is a virtual experience that they're sharing, and we're seeing their photorealistic avatars. They're in that, now their real space, and now they go into a third environment. And so we're looking at shared spaces in these virtual tech, with this virtual tech. And here we have some telehealth solutions with 3D walls and shared full-size screen walls. And so at work, here we have an idea of a holographic stage where 2 avatars on the left are coming into the meeting, 2 people on the right are physically there, and they're all looking at the shared same media. It's the same solution, but with a table in the middle, and we have avatars on the right, and they're all engaged in the same spatial area, looking at the same media. In the area of learning, this is another holographic example where we have these really immersive educational experiences and personas that just come to life in a way that we just can't get on a flat screen today. And now when we get into the play environment, we have light field displays that connect to other devices, like what she's turning here, and she's playing with a statue, and it's got really realistic ray tracing that's responding to the environment. And again, we have our mixed reality gaming experience that's happening here, and it's a lot of fun for the family. And finally, we see the different worlds changing back and forth, so we get a sense of how these things work together. And we've got our whole series at CableLabs. Just go to the URL that you see below, and you can go see any of the films that we've produced to get a vision.
Wow. That's cool stuff, and really hits close to home this year as everyone is working and learning from home, having Zoom happy hours, and even telemedicine doctor visits. But I guess I'm really curious as to how the entertainment experience can improve. And how does this change the overall narrative experience?
Well, I have a deck, I have a slide that helps to explain this. So you can see this 3-stage chart here, this experiential evolution of narratives. Now, I want to be clear that each stage in this evolutionary chart doesn't mean that the next stage is better than the one before it. It just means that there's a new kind of experience that's been made possible by technology. The main idea here is that volumetric technology is moving the audience away from the experience of observing or controlling the content from a distance and towards the experience of being with the content, meaning the media feels more naturally a part of the room. 6DoF headsets have given a taste of this to consumers, but holographic displays will bring a more natural, shared experience that everyone in the room can be a part of.
Interesting. So what impact does this have on production?
For live talent shoots, producers are used to knowing that the audience will see what the camera is pointed at. With holographic production, this is not necessarily the case. This shoot that you're seeing here used a 100 camera array to capture a light field video of a yoga instructor. Watching this production with a light field display, a viewer on the right side of the couch will see one side of the talent, and a viewer on the left side will see the other side of the talent. Now, this raises a series of questions. How will the audience react to being off-center from where the talent is looking? And where should the talent be directed to look at from shot to shot? And how should they block their staging? And how does all of this work for editing? And so these are just some of the questions and issues that came up with this holographic yoga shoot.
Well, that's really thought-provoking, and it certainly does change things up. I should mention that information about this particular light field shoot and demo are also discussed in other segments in the Idea SMPTE track. I encourage you to check those other ones out if you haven't done that already.
A further extension of this is if the viewer can be detected in the room, and the content can automatically adapt to direct the eye gaze at the viewer, that would enable applications like smart characters that respond to the user's voice, eye contact, and body language. Holographic content opens up a new dimension of screen-driven robotics, and these immersive character interactions can be experienced by anybody who owns a light field display.
Wow, that would be really cool. So are you telling me that I could actually have a conversation with Yoda?
Yeah, this can enable smart characters for meaningful interaction. Imagine full holographic teleconferencing, where instead of looking at your coworkers or ourselves right now or family on a flat screen, you see 3D holographic representation as if you were in the same room, just like what we saw in the near future video.
Yeah, that would be really nice. I think that might also help with this thing that we call Zoom fatigue. So Eric, you and I, we both work at CableLabs, and some of the SMPTE audience might be wondering why CableLabs is actually interested in this technology.
Great question, Debbie. The short answer is that in order to deliver a true holographic experience to consumers, a better network is needed. Light field content is massive. Think about the amount of data coming out of 100 4K cameras simultaneously. Cable's 10G network will be able to handle the sustained speeds and latency requirements, along with enhanced security and reliability.
So what do we need to get to the point where holograms are a reality to help us live, work, learn, and play?
There is a lot of momentum in this space, and it takes everyone in the production pipeline, from creative content producers, holographic displays, and the network to deliver it. Studios are already using light field capture in some use cases, even all the way back to films like The Matrix. The advancements in displays are really exciting. These are discussed in a couple of other idea talks in the SMPTE track by Looking Glass Factory and Light Field Labs. Another key component is graphics compute and rendering capability. NVIDIA just announced their RTX 30 series. And in general, there are significant strides towards real-time ray tracing and rendering. All this momentum is great, but what we don't want is a fragmented market. Debbie, you asked me what we need to make this a reality. The ecosystem needs to converge on standard media and network distribution formats so this can really take off. This is the mission of IDEA and why CableLabs is involved.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Eric. This was really thought-provoking, and I look forward to what's coming next.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thanks for joining us in this segment from the Immersive Digital Experiences Alliance. IDEA is a nonprofit industry group developing a family of royalty-free technical specifications to enable the digital future. You can learn more at immersivealliance.org. You can join IDEA, download the ITMF specifications or white paper, or just join our mailing list to stay informed. Thanks for joining us today.